Hi James, how are you
Uh,
doing?
yeah, it's all's good. It's good. Thank you, Dylan. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. Sorry about the slight delay. It wouldn't let me join the first time. I had to leave and rejoin.
No worries. No worries. You're here now. That's the
Yeah,
main thing.
thank you.
How's your morning going?
Yeah, it's good, thank you. I'm currently I'm being busy, so I'm decorating at the minute. And just been doing loads of stuff for work. But yeah, so far it's been a decent morning. How
Good
about
stuff.
yours?
Yeah, it's been a busy one. Been a busy one. Cracking on with BD, but that's the
Yeah,
world of
it's
recruitment,
always
right?
good. Yeah, yeah.
Indeed, indeed. And I suppose just to frame the meeting today, just to run through what we'll be going through. First of all, just initial introductions. Then it'll be good just to go through your numbers process, a couple of scenario-based questions or competency-based questions, motivations, and then anything you need to know about develop. How does that
Yeah, that's
sound? Is
great.
that sort of what you was expecting?
That suits me. Yeah, I'll be able
Yeah.
to because I think it happened quite quick last night with Richard. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be good to have an insight and yeah, have a good conversation. So yeah,
Definitely. I appreciate your flexibility as well. Yeah, Richard sent over your profile like yesterday afternoon. I'm
yeah,
actually
that's it.
on annual leave tomorrow.
Oh,
I was
okay,
like, I've
nice.
got this time tomorrow, or
Yeah,
alternatively, it'll have to be like mid next week. So yeah, thank you for the quick turnaround.
no, that's great. Thank you for meeting me.
And and I suppose yeah, the initial introduction. So I've been at Develop now just over a year.
Yeah,
The original plan was to join the business, get up and running from a billing perspective for myself, with then plans to then grow out the team. So those plans are now put into place. I look after UK permanent division, and my divisions will cover. So DevOps and cloud is my background. We'll have a data desk, a cybersecurity desk, and then an opening for an AI desk, keeping a watchful eye, obviously, on AI with the market on
yeah, yeah.
how we'll pivot to that.
Okay,
And I'm pretty open on background and experience. I notice that you've had experience across all those areas, really. So,
pretty much.
um,
Yeah,
yeah, so it'd be good, obviously, to understand what you're looking for, obviously, around market space. But yeah, at Develop, we all have our own niche. So we'll only ever look after one particular area,
okay.
which is why I actually joined Develop, because my two roles before have been a complete build out from scratch in IT. So
Yeah,
the two businesses I was at previously had never done IT recruitment before. They brought me on board to build out that. So it was actually really nice going back to a specialist, because that's
yeah, yeah.
where my background was. So I was at a company called Marcus Donald for 7 years, and all
Okay,
they
yeah,
did was IT infrastructure and DevOps. So
yeah.
I feel like I've gone back to my roots and back to where I
Well, you
belong, so
know,
to
yeah,
speak.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good.
But yeah, that's a bit about me. How about yourself? I know I've had a good read of your CV, so it'd be good to just bring that to life.
Yeah, sure. So I've been at Odin. Well, that was I had a different career before that, and I joined Odin as they founded a new desk, the tech data and AI desk.
Yeah,
Odin, they're founded on Web3 and blockchain, so they're quite well known in the space. Partnered with a couple of VCs, and they do quite well. I've got about 30 consultants. I joined as it was kind of founded. A guy called James kind of built it out. Had some clients ready on board. So I joined doing mainly delivery with two other guys. That was good. There's quite a lot of
yeah,
requirements to kind of fulfill. But like you just said, this would be one day would be a SAP, say FICO, then it would be a Dynamics, and it could be an ML engineer. So it all varied. In a
yeah,
way, I think it was good rather than focusing because you go to some companies and I'd focus on, like you just said, one niche and you're just doing that in, I don't know, just in Belgium. We covered
yeah.
multiple at one time. And because it was a small desk, we had the freedom to do the UK, Europe, and the US just to kind of get the desk up and running. So it was a really nice collaborative team. Even though we was part of a biggish company, we was on like one side trying to build up that one side of the room. So
Okay.
it was good. So we was doing various different roles, different team builds. Most recently, it was more AI and data. So mainly, I would say scale up startups. Just going off Crunchbase, our connections basically in the space. They're a bit easier to win because it's literally just a founder engineer, go on that journey, and you're kind of building out their core teams, depending on what their product is and what they're taking to market. That's most recently, but then at the start, I was doing your SAP modules as well and Dynamics for a few Formula One teams in Oxford.
Nice.
It's mainly what I've been focusing on. The roles all do vary, I'd say. Would like to say I'm quite, I'd say, confident on obviously different techs and knowing what a back end does and a full stack than a Dynamics guy. But I guess you're always learning each day. Just when you're on the phone to candidates, being delivery focused, that is always doing really calls a day, just to fulfil the requirements we had. I would say it was mainly a 270 role, just because we was all quite friendly. So I jump on the client call if there's a new role come up to try and expand that account. James was more than okay with me doing it. Everything I sort of learned was from there, I'd say. I had a bit of consulting experience from what I'd done before, but actual recruitment, I wouldn't say so. It's just having the confidence to kind of speak and kind of sell a role. Vice versa to a client as well. So that's mainly what I've been doing. Billings are circa 160 this year. That's done 9 roles. That was 2 dynamic roles, then head of chief architecture, sorry, not head of. Then a few AI and data roles. I'd say I'm more I'm confident in main areas and picking up new techs, but I think with me the age I am, seeing like the scale ups and startups, that's just like a keen interest of me, like that boutique sort of vibe, like the cross collaboration. So I have got an interest in obviously the AI and data. Like AI is getting really big. A lot of companies, like big enterprise companies, are implementing it now. JP and Morgan, they're fully on board in all areas now. Like it's getting, and the market value is quite big as well, and recruiting in it is even better.
It really is. It really is. And that's why we've got a watchful eye on that desk at the moment. And where my core background was like infrastructure, as in like physical infrastructure, when I made the move to DevOps, it was the same sort of AI boom, that there was a DevOps and cloud boom. So many people was doing cloud transformations. And when I look back, I probably went into that market 6 months, maybe a year too soon. And it took a longer build up then, because there wasn't as many roles as we was obviously hoping for. And I don't want to do the same mistake twice, but I think AI is literally going to be there in the next 6 months of volume of roles. Yes, there are roles there now, but I'm talking about like SOW pieces, like big statement of works for mass hires, and that's when you want to jump into it, right?
Yeah, it's the right timing, isn't it? It's like with a company as well, getting in the right time, building it up, and seeing them go on this journey. And it's exactly like you said with AI as well. So it's quite an exciting time.
No, definitely. And I noticed then you took on the BD role in May time. What prompted that? You mentioned that you was 270 and James was happy for you to like jump on calls and stuff like that. Yeah, what prompted it in May for it to go, right, let's do full 360?
So the requirement wasn't really there for a full 360 on the tech side, like what I was doing. It kind of was and it wasn't. I was doing it like the odd day, but we didn't really have a clear structure on what we was doing. It was just the clients we had. We had a few clients on. A couple of the roles were not hard to fill. There's just a few pushbacks from the clients. A couple of restructures in the company. Then I thought they were founding a new desk, and I sort of said like, this might be a good chance. Things are slowing down a bit on my end. Weren't where I really wanted to be in, like, wouldn't say my career, just what I was billing and just the speed of things. Really, it was good at start, and it sort of slowed down. So I thought I'll give this a go. Like, it's good to know more techs in a way. Web3 blockchain, there is similar layovers in the AI space. Like, you will get roles in the Web3 and blockchain that obviously will be AI, all depending on what the company does, what product they're doing, or an app. So I thought I'd do that. Pierce, like, he's great on the BD side. Like, he's been doing it for years. He does programs in the office, so I thought it'd be a good chance. Like, 6 weeks intense training. The other guys were new hires, so I kind of had the upper hand. So I was ready, like, taking my skills I already had doing BD. It's similar to candidates, but obviously it's a bit harsher in a way and what you're actually targeting. There's a lot of research you have to do, finding your niche and all that. And it takes sometimes a few weeks or a month building up that like kind of rapport in a way with who you're like targeting. So that was what I was doing. And yeah, I was sort of just mapping out people, finding our niche, why the training was going on in the background. So yeah, it gave me a good gave me a good like setup for what I was going to do.
Mm.
Obviously going forward, and yeah, I found it. I was quite confident in doing it. Really, we won one company on one of the ecosystems, Solana. They're inserting some product to a market like an app. It's like an all-in-one app. To do with like trading, it was like your wallets, then your platform like eToro, like all in one. That was quite cool. But yeah, it was a bit easier on the Web3 and blockchain side because it was all scale up and startup. So there weren't big enterprise accounts at the start. So they're all very laid back. It's all Telegram, but you still have to like there is objection handling and blockers. But in the good side, they're all backed by VCs, a big funding, so they've got money to spend because they need these hires to build out their team basically, so they can do their products. But then at the same time, he did obviously on the other side when doing the 270 big enterprise account. So your kind of your BD approach is a lot more tailored. You're selling the company yourself, all depending on what the role is. And I suppose at the time you play it by ear. You can't do the same BD approach for every account. It's all from like the first call and kind of echo their level in a way.
Okay, brilliant. How many wins or client wins have you had since May? So since the training, how many clients have you been able to bring on board with live roles, and then have you placed a full 360 role yet?
No, so yeah, that was just the one I mentioned on the Solana with the app. That was the one we won. There was just a requirement there for a founding engineer, so it was a very new company. That was just mapping out clients basically for the first sort of like month. Actually having a reason behind what we're doing. Like it's all good and well like on the candidate side, going after like fake roles and speaking to people, but on BD, you do need an outcome most of the time. I don't want to go after something that's not going to get me a win. It doesn't have to be money, like a win, like anything in the office, signing terms, but we haven't got a requirement for a few months. It's still a win. So I think that's what they kind of talk there. Is always have a reason and a win behind what you're doing, which was good. So unfortunately, it just one account for that, and the role was being worked. But obviously, I don't know if Richard said I've actually moved from Odin now, so I'm not currently employed there.
Oh, okay. No, he hadn't. So that was on one of my lower down questions of what's the reason. But no, it's all good. What was your reason for moving? But yeah, so what's the situation there then?
Situation, yes. The reason for moving it was just a few things I've covered. Maybe just where I wanted to be in my career. Working with people, the scale up startups, finding it quite cool and a keen interest, and seeing recruitment companies do it as well, and what they're doing, and directly working with them. And maybe a company that does specialize just in that kind of space rather than someone that's been founded on Web3 and blockchain and they're building out like a tech AI desk. There's a lot of companies out there. So I was quite confident in the market, doing different Boolean searches on clients and source whales, just seeing what clients are out there who actually specialize in one thing, kind of want to be maybe partner with VCs or be the 1%. And a lot of people working in these smaller companies that they're good billers and they've got good connections as well. So it's kind of just following the crowd and getting in at the right time and finding that company that kind of not has it all, but has 70% of it, and maybe you can implement stuff or they're more than willing to implement something.
Yeah, understood. So had you made the decision to then to move on from them, or?
Yeah, it was 70% my side. So we had a discussion when I was on the tech side delivery. Things are slowing down. Obviously, I brought up the BD role and they backed it and said, yeah, like that's good. They're always open to hearing suggestions. One of the guys, he founded another little tech in aerospace. So they're always trying new stuff. They're really laid back. It's a good company. So I was like, yeah, I'll try this. Everything was the same. I was just doing that Web3. See if it picked up a bit. Still wasn't where I kind of wanted to be. I probably, didn't think it. I thought it was going to be a bit better. Maybe the wins, I'm not sure. Maybe because it was new hires on the desk, I'm not too sure. Then just looking at the market, I thought if I kind of get out now, find something good that's going to suit me, So I've got a good couple of months, then like been going to the new year quite strong.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you for the overview. So then, it's safe to say, regarding the roles that you worked on then, where the revenue had come from, they were all the 180 and 270 accounts that you'd worked on within that tech realm. You mentioned obviously the Dynamics roles, the chief role. They were clients that had been won by the business, and then you dealt with the resource side. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Lovely.
So
Yeah.
on the Dynamics one, that's one of the Formula One companies. We expanded an account on that. It was one role, and I managed to expand that with one of the head of IT guys. But yeah, that's all personal, and that's all just delivery. And that was, most roles were 50-50, but then some were 60 to clients, then 40 to me. It was all just depending on how long they'd been on our desk, basically.
Makes sense. And are you an F1 fan yourself?
I do follow it. Yeah, I haven't seen the new film yet, but I think I've got it like in my list to watch. After watching it, I did watch it like obviously this year. I know it's still going on, but obviously with the time difference. But yeah, I'd say I'm quite a keen racer. I haven't been to Silverstone yet, but yeah, it's on my list.
Nice. It's always good working. I used to work with McLaren years and years
Oh,
ago.
nice. Yeah.
And I wasn't into F1 at the time, so I
Yeah.
think I've just taken that for granted. But now I've really got into F1. I'm like, I definitely didn't make the most of recruiting for them, because I'd love to do that again now. But anyway.
No, yeah, it's good, definitely. I think if you get in and you have a good relationship, like I've heard one of the guys, like they'll get you tickets there and they'll take you to their box and everything, so it's quite cool.
Yeah, it's good perks and rewards to the job. So, okay, brilliant. No, thank you for running through the numbers and process. I get where you are with that. So, on the, I suppose, competency based questions, just a couple ones that is good just to know how to get the best of you and what environment you succeed in. What conditions do work best or worst for you? What environment do you like being in?
Probably like-minded people, like you mean like regarding culture in a way.
Yeah. Like
okay.
how do you best perform?
I think just being around people that want the same outcome, like-minded people, all like after the same win, like that hustle and bustle on the phones, a close kind of knit team, all knowing what you're doing, all on the same level, I'd say. Depending obviously what company it is, having either the head of recruitment or the founder at close reach, if it's that like small boutique vibe, rather than your big account that you can always kind of ask and fall on. I think it's always good to ask questions like in smaller companies, because you kind of got direct access, so I think you should take advantage of that and kind of be like a sponge in a way. But yeah, I'd say a close kind of knit collaboration team, where you can kind of speak and not get rectified or looked upon, and kind of just not comparing it to like your big companies where it's all like processes and the throat cuss like KPIs and etc. Being self-employed, I think I can adjust to different environments, but I think being like self-employed and doing like your mindset's a bit different, and you kind of know what you've got to do in your day to day, like if it's doing delivery or your BD and how you split your days up. And obviously it's good having your team meetings in the morning or your weekly ones, but then I think your weeks kind of works better if you organise you yourself rather than kind of being told, obviously with like exceptions, how your day is going to plan out.
Yeah, understood. And you mentioned there hustle and bustle with like being on the phone and stuff. What environment were you in historically? Was it KPI led? Did you have like set dials or times that you had to meet?
It wasn't harsh because it was still, so they only implemented Bullhorn, I think, like I say, they were on something else before and it's all transversing over. So it was more having Bullhorn really clean and not just throwing notes on there. Obviously, we had the analytics page and obviously there was calls on there, but it was mainly for delivery. It's just the CV sends basically to each job and the roles. Call times, not so much. Like we all spent 20 minutes because we was either getting PI or something for a lead. That was standard. It was just calls basically. We had a requirement on, and it's more based on CV sends, PI over the month, and just our target of what we had to build really. if you fell short on one, you'd make up on the other. You wouldn't get brought up like if you hadn't hit it. Like it was okay. There were more if you was billing. They would more find a solution behind that, which works for me as well. Like something's not going right, I'd kind of want to have advice or speak to someone like, or what we're going to do better. So that's the sort of environment I like as well. Like solutions based, like good methodology behind something. Yeah, to kind of all help each other like at the same time in a way.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, and what was your CV sent target?
So I think it was like 5 a day maybe. But actually to the client, I think it was like maybe like 20 a week. I don't. Yeah, I'll get a proper number on that. But yeah, we were sending a few CVs each day, just because of the roles we had on. Basically, each role it was if it was a contract, like I'd say 2 to 3. If it was a full-time perm role, yeah, it was like 2 to 5, all
Yeah.
depending. But so yeah, that could be anything from. I think in the day I sent like 11 over on 2 roles. But yeah, average I'd say 5 a day, all depending.
Right. Okay. Lovely. And then what's more important for you? Is it money or recognition?
Uh, it's hard to say really. Like I am very motivated by money. Like just coming from working myself and doing other things, like doing well for the company, and obviously as money comes, progression comes, and recognition. I'd say to answer it's more on the company. Like what's like the scope for the next couple of years, what you're going to be expanding, what are your plans, because then everything else kind of goes with it. If there's a
Yeah.
plan there, then I'm going to be working towards that as well, wherever that is all together. Then I think the finances, then the recognition will follow that in a way.
Yeah, no, definitely, and they go hand in hand, right? If you're earning money, typically you're going to be getting recognised, and if you're getting recognised, then the money will follow. So it is hand in hand.
Because obviously you could have like a really good money but then the company might not be as great. Then like you're just earning, then you're just like on that straight rather than like having that company. Then it all kind of like goes, and like you just said, it all kind of follows. Then you get that balance.
Definitely. And what are your motivations now for your next role? You mentioned there about a journey next 2-3 years. What ultimately do you need from a business?
Clear progression really within the company. I'm like 26 now, so I'm quite career focused. I'd like a year off work. I was doing my own work for a bit. Obviously, I was with Odin for a bit, but I think now like it's a more career. Like I don't like moving around. I want to kind of stay in a company who sort of like they could be founded a few years ago or quite new, and kind of go on that journey. I've still got a lot to learn as well. Like I'm only like a few years into my recruitment journey since I like transitioned over. So yeah, be part of a really like strong team. There's constant learning going on. You can like take those transversal skills, a clear map of what they're going to do. So certain techs, they're more than willing to open up the techs, and obviously the locations as well, where you're going to be doing the roles, the US, Europe, or so. And a company that's going to expand and got a clear growth, and maybe like-minded people like the candidates you're going to be hiring on that journey. If you want to be 1% to the VCs, or you want to grow into a 200-man company.
Yeah, understood. Makes sense. Okay. What do you need to know about the role, the business, and
So I did do a bit of research. I think Richard, you had like a gloss like page you sent over, so it gave me an insight. I know you're mainly software engineering, but you do obviously go over to the tech side. So I think it's be good just to understand the areas you're working now, really, and just an outline of the role. Because I did have a kind of idea. I don't know if it's more delivery focused or it's all 360. So a good, an insight.
Yeah, if I could just give you a breakdown, definitely. So, so I suppose initially it was founded, as you mentioned, software engineering. So there was a dedicated desk across .NET. So one of our directors called Robbie Legg. He's been in the business over 10 years. He set up and grew the .NET division. He's now got a standalone office in Portsmouth. So he's built out a software development team out in Portsmouth that recruit .NET and all other languages now. Okay, so that's sort of his baby. Within Portsmouth office, we've also got what's called the Global Delivery Centre, and that's our only 180 team, and they facilitate volume roles outside of our niches. So let's say, for example, TSB were one of our major clients last year. They had a piece of work across 50 hires, and they sat across business transformation. So that was like BAs, PMs, and that's not within our niche. So the delivery center effectively wrapped up all of those roles. All positions in London, where I'm based from, are all 360, and in our London office we have our back office team, so our ops team, finance, HR, marketing, etc. Then we have our UK permanent division I'll be looking after, and then obviously the founders and our sales director are based in that office. And then we've also got a German division that are based out of London but recruit for all the German market. Okay. We then have an office based out in Miami that are also growing, and they look after all positions in and around Miami, with then now a further focus with an additional team across San Francisco. It's safe to say that the numbers have developed. We're at our leanest that we've ever been, and now we've had investment now to 5 times the company. So we're currently sitting at around 20 heads, and the founders have got effectively an exit plan for the next in 5 years time. So as leaders within the business, we've been offered EMI shares within the business, and it's our goal at a current stock price to grow the business and grow our teams to then get an additional lump sum at the end of it effectively. Now, why I mention that and why it's important for people to join now, obviously over the next 5 years you've got an opportunity to grow your career, grow your billings, and grow the team effectively. So whilst you're joining now, there's then an opportunity for long term to also be involved in that EMI scheme. Now the exit is unsure on whether that will be additional investment from a larger business that buys out Develop completely, or it's sell on to that's the only question mark. We don't know what that would look like, but that's the plan across the next 5 years.
Okay, no, that sounds great. So the roles, obviously the London team, you're solely focusing on just the UK market?
UK market, DevOps, cloud, data, cyber, and AI. Those will be the key areas. And then, like I said, Portsmouth then deliver all our development hires, and then effectively the global delivery center, anything outside of those areas would be looked at.
So like the US and so on, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's pretty much on I got a good understanding. With the roles, obviously the London, would that just be London based, or would you implement doing like the US, or
so the US will cover all the US. So the roles that I would look after are only UK. They don't specifically have to be London. We could work roles in Scotland, Wales, wherever. But I would say, to be fair, 90% of our client base are in and around London, obviously being a tech hub. But there's no restrictions. But I suppose there's no restrictions outside of the UK. It's just any positions in Germany or US would be covered from the other teams.
Yeah, sure. And with the sort of like companies you're going after, is it quite, obviously the team that you're on, is it quite, you like given like one area, or do you kind of have free will to kind of go after who, depending if they're already a client?
You have free will. So there's the 3 ways of working. So there's completely new 360, and the process my team follow is lead led. So effectively you're speaking with candidates in your market, you're understanding where they're interviewing, where they've worked at previously. It's all based around market insights and info. We would then go out and take a candidate to market from the information that you've gathered. So that's a complete 360. There is no red tape on what industry that that falls upon. You've then got lapsed client list. So
Yeah.
obviously over the duration of develop, there are clients that we would have won historically, maybe in different markets, and there's that land and expanded approach of we have terms agreed, but we may not have worked with them for a while. So it's about reintroducing. And then we've got our current client list that active roles are naturally coming in on a week-to-week basis. So
it's kind of giving to you.
Yeah, and obviously we would encourage, and all the targets and everything set are on new logos and new business wins. That's what you'd be coming in to look at. We said we haven't got a facility that it would be 180 or 270. It would be a go out and get your own roles. But we're fortunate that there will be roles that do come in naturally. That let's just say, for example, you're doing data. We've got a long list of clients that have used us for data historically. On your first day, if you were to start and a data role come in, then of course that would then come to you because that's your specialist niche. Obviously, I'd never like to overpromise and say that you're going to get tens of roles a week. That it won't be like that. But it's always nice when that happens, of course.
No, yeah, definitely. And how is it all at the minute with like requirements? So have you got a lot of roles? Is it mainly doing delivery, or are you mainly just doing BD at the minute to kind of build it up a bit more?
BD to build it out more. I said that the whole of this year has been a focus on winning new business, bringing it on. You mentioned that obviously the tech market had quietened down earlier on in the year. I'm not going to sit here and say we haven't experienced that as well. It's been a difficult market this year, but the last six weeks, 2 months, we've seen a lot more roles coming through. We're winning new business with volume roles, and that's why now we're in a position that we're now ready to reinvest back in, build out that team. Like I said, we're currently sitting at 20 heads. We want to get to 100 heads in 5 years' time. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the background, but we feel like now's the right time to go and get it because the market is turning. So it's about being ahead of the market, ready for when that boom does come back in, because it will happen.
Yeah, it's being prepared, isn't it? Like you just said, when it comes, you're all kind of set up and ready to go.
Indeed.
No, thank you. Yeah, I've got a good insight, really. I think you've covered most stuff without me asking. Obviously, I just had a few other questions. No, I've got a good insight into the role, the markets you're covering, and what kind of techs you will be covering in each sort of role. Thank you.
Brilliant. No, thank you, Dylan. And next steps, just to manage expectations on timings. I know Richard's off today as well, isn't he?
He's on holiday,
Yeah. So I will revert back to Sean. Have you spoke to Sean, his business partner?
Yeah, I've got his. Yeah, we spoke earlier on, so we'll have a little catch up.
Okay, yeah. So I've got a few meetings later on this afternoon. I will try my best to get back to Sean later on today to then go through feedback and next steps. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. If you need anything else from me, just you can give me a message or reach out to Sean. I'll be happy to expand on any areas. But yeah, thanks a lot for meeting.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Dylan. Take care. Good to meet you.
Have a good one. Take care.
You too.
Bye now.
Bye.